Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, here is part two. Don't worry, it's not going to be any kind of sequel, but I just had to share this with you. Because I am tired and exhausted, but it's unbelievable. So, obviously, this is about the same guy I told you guys about in the prior video. So, obviously, your boy is really concerned now. Oh no, no kidding. And he's making the rounds. Let me get comfortable. Making the rounds. So it's like you trying to circle the wagon. I already know about it. Knew about this weekend. Knew about it last week. So he's obviously calling around trying to get help. And I said, listen, first of all, I'm realizing how even though he may be in the wrong, I have noticed once again, dust is always protected. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. You know how you just kind of watch, let's say in a group setting, mannerisms. And of course, it looks like the other bros, professional bros, the responsible ones, are like handling this guy with kid gloves. So I'm now calling them the dust mites, little minions, dust minions. Huh. So it's calling around. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to waste any time because he did this on his own. Uh, you're not going to be able to get another bank account. That's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to go get one of those debit cards you load up. I said, because what they do is they run your credit. They said it's pretty much just to, as I understand, to verify your identity. Okay, so not like for a credit score. Okay, they'll do that. And I said as I said before, while you sitting up here playing, somebody's planning. They are, and I said this. I said they're tired of the $50 billion liability boys. This is news to me from the property claim and all that. So this right here, somebody's twerking the system. They're tired. You want to lay and play, and then just walk away, and then everybody else has a responsibility. Other family members, the taxpayers, they're tired. You're not a victim. So I said, that's one thing to do here. And the only thing I would suggest to do here is one thing. I said, aside from what his boy told him to go ahead and try to make some arrangements, I said, that's one thing to do. I said, the other thing to go ahead and do is one thing. That is to go and get a second job. Do like your boy told you to do. Make some, call the people, be an adult, put a few $1,000s down, and then make some arrangements. In the meantime, go get a second job and go make this happen. That's it. So then one of the so-called brethren, I was kind of surprised. He goes, well, he didn't pay. And a lot of reason, he said sometimes the men don't pay because of the women. And I thought to myself, I said, but hold on. That doesn't make any sense because I don't think the woman forced, I haven't heard about him being attacked, forced him to engage in this activity. So no, he did not pay because he thought he was going to get away. He knew the child was here. He knew somebody was raising the child, the mother. He knew somebody was feeding the child, the mother. He knew somebody was getting the child to school, the mother, clothing the child, insurance, doctor's appointments, enrolling a kid in school. He knew that was being done, and he did nothing. He was okay with walking away. He was okay with walking away. That's not going to work. So that's the case. Go ahead and call the bank and tell them folks that. Tell the state that, and see how that's going to fly. Then here's point number two, and I'm going to tell you the last thing that he said that really just took the cake. Just when you think you've seen stupidity at its highest level, they say when people show you who they are, believe them. So then the dude says, well, I think the reason that he didn't pay, because I'm like, this about the mother, that's not going to fly. He didn't pay was because of, excuse me, was because of, oh yeah, slavery. I said, oh my God, I don't come with the slavery routine. I can't. Slavery? You know what? In slavery, I don't recall the brothers having apartments, homes, and cars back then, did they? Did they have were they rolling in Jeeps and vehicles and SUVs in slavery? I don't think so, but they have them now. That's a poor excuse. In slavery, they didn't have their own homes and a mortgage and an apartment and rent. But they have them now. In slavery, they didn't work in an office building, did they? Oh, but some of them do now. In slavery, they didn't work at home, but some of them do now. In slavery, you weren't taking Becky out on a date and marrying her, were you? Even though you may, let's say if you were rich, were you just out and about making them a single mother too? Now she was playing games with them. Yeah, you have, white women that were slave owners too. Different video. I'm just letting you know. So don't come handing me that. In slavery, you weren't going to the club, were you? In your ride? Were you sitting up in the VIP popping bottles in slavery? But you're doing that now. So again, in slavery, you weren't wearing any Timberlands, were you? Were you going to rap concerts? Huh? Were you? Hopping on flights? Traveling here and there? In slavery, you didn't have that passport going to the DR, were you? Of course not. So stop. That's a cop out. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Did you have cable back in slavery? Did the men have cable? I don't think so. Did you have Netflix, Sling in slavery? Did you? So that's just another cop out. Did you have blonde tips in slavery? Did you have the man weave in slavery? Of course not. So this crazy nonsense about, oh, well, back then they just had to have a whole lot of kids, and what they did was they didn't have to pay child support. So no, that's the most ridiculous thing. Always trying to legitimize idiosyncratic behavior, dumbness, make excuses, but yet and still. So this right here, that's not gonna fly. You didn't have those things, but you're riding around in someone's vehicle today, aren't you? Did you have that house, the kind of home in slavery? No. Of course not. Would they have written you a check like that? So just stop with the excuses. And then just when you think you have heard it all, okay, this is when it's like, besides putting him on block, you may have to put the homies on block too. Do you know what one of his buddies said? And I'm like, I guess I'm done with you two today. Oh my gosh. He goes, well, I thought the girl was like maybe in high school, but no, she graduated high school and she is out of high school and she just turned 18 and she attends a university. Okay, so she's a college student. He goes, yeah, man, and plus school. And this is how I found out because I didn't know. I just knew it was a teen. So I'm like, what you mean in plus school? Because this part I didn't know. Then again, I have no sympathy. Keep in mind, this is a baby daddy. This is someone's father. I Sometimes it is best to raise a child alone. I can imagine him in the home. Guess what he said? He said, oh, yeah. So I guess they already knew. I didn't know. Oh, yeah. She just had to go to school. And I'm like, well, most kids do. Oh, no, she's in college. Oh, so she's at the university. So as long as she's in school, and he explained what this I'd heard of already. So I got to keep on. Oh, I got it. So the payments have to continue. The payments got to keep on coming as long as she's in school. And that's he said. She just had to go. She just had to go to school. He says, I'm sorry, yeah. She just had to go to school. And he mentioned, oh yeah, that doesn't help. Quote, that doesn't help. Oh yeah, school. That doesn't help. She just had to go to school. Like it was a bad thing. When he said that doesn't help, that doesn't help him. Like I said, I knew she was a teen. He's like, other partner, oh yeah, in school. Oh yeah, that doesn't help. She just had to go to school. Wow. So would you rather that she drop out so the payments can stop? Wow. That I can't. She just had to go to school. That doesn't help. She just had to go to school. Now, it may help her, of course, in her future getting an education, but it doesn't help him, the baby daddy. He's selfish, worried about those. Whoa, they set the bar low. That he said that doesn't help. She just had to go to school. So I guess he would rather that she stop going to school. That's all I can think of. You'd rather she stop going to school. It's all about you. A selfish piece of crap. Selfish son of a witch. And I bet you he was probably coddled. That's why they're so selfish. They've been coddled. So you don't even want the daughter to get an education. So basically, as I said before, when a man is there, when he's not there, he doesn't care. All about this child support thing. What's he been doing all this time? I didn't know this. The girl is, and like I said, I knew she was 18, so 18, yeah, but I had no idea she was in college. And this is what he has to say. That doesn't help. She just had to go to school. I'm done. I'm about wishing his butt in the cornfields with no cell phone, no food, no water. Wow. So it's the mom's fault. That's why he didn't pay. But I'm like this here. You chose to be with the woman. I'm sure you were down when that stomach was flat. But it's because of her he didn't pay. That doesn't even make any sense. But that's the woman that you chose. You chose to lay down and have relations with this woman. It's the mom's fault. It's slavery fault. How do you think the child got where she is now? Again, it makes sense for a lot of women. You see that the guy's not right. Sometimes the kid is better off without them being there. Oh, I get it. If he's like this now, imagine him in the home. I think he would just be disruptive. He's a selfish piece of crap. And I'm sure he showed that at some point. And she decided to go ahead with no choice of her own, of course, and raise the child herself. And now the girl is in school. It really shows. And I was like, wow, isn't it something? Even sometimes the ones you think might be okay, and eye opener for me, sometimes they're not when it comes to women, black women. That doesn't help. She just had to go to school. And the way he said it, it was like a down. He's like, that doesn't help. Oh, he's like, oh, don't forget about school. Oh, yeah, that doesn't help. She just had to go to school. Wow. And that wind just had to come and damage that roof, and you had to file that claim. I have no sympathy. Don't nobody care about your problem. I was that, wow, that doesn't help. It may help her. No, they don't care about you. I keep saying they don't care. Baby mom want to box up. Oh, he does care. Okay, keep it up, sis. Whatever you think, keep being delusional. I thought about it. I often say, if he's there, if he cares, he's there. Sometimes if he's there, when you got these hella haters, the child will have less of a future, end up going nowhere. He said that doesn't help. She just had to go to school. Like, dang, she had to go to school. All about himself. So this right here, I have no sympathy when they're like, oh no, he done got himself locked up. They blame the women. Well, a lot of black men on locked up due to child support. Well, but he did this. I mean, I've seen that so many times on YouTube. Her black men said locked up because of child support. Well, he decided to pull out his thing and play Mandingo Man. No accountability. And again, sometimes you see things, you're like, this is so stupid, so silly. But then sometimes you can look around, it's like, wow, you can see some of the people that you know, how some of these men are. It can eke out little by little. Want to still handle him with kid gloves. It's the woman's fault. Gotcha. Now it's slavery. Gotcha. He don't want to pay because of the mother. But that's the woman he chose to lay down with. I haven't heard him say he was forced or at gunpoint. Let me guess. She wants you to probably stand up and be a man. And you got mad. And she still allowed you to live your life and go on. And she raised the child all by herself. Now, It's a young woman that's in college, not pregnant, nothing like that, 18 years old and in school, and you can't say that you're proud of her, nothing like that. This also lets me know, I think he has been lying to people because I remember him saying before, like, he was giving the impression, yeah, I think he's been lying because I was like, wait a second. I thought about that and I said, since this passport thing has come up, this all he was talking about was like, being about travel. But I thought about it. I said, you know, I thought months ago he was saying that he was communicating with his daughter. I think he been lying. Cause now the conversation, I thought about that. I said, I think he been lying all. I think he's just been lying to make himself not look bad. He had to been lying. Cause now the conversation, it's like it doesn't. It's like we're talking about one kid. It's like the conversations, as I thought about in the past, it's not lining up with you being involved with your kid. But now all this right here has happened, and it's like it's estranged. So you know that she's in school, but I said the way he's talking, they really don't have a relationship. But I remember like last year and so you were talking about your daughter. So I think he was just lying, unless he's watching her on Facebook. It doesn't make any sense. If you have a relationship, why are you getting pissed about paying for your kid? This is sounding very like you don't even deal with her. So I'm like, this does not, something just not lining up. So all I can deduce from that, when he was talking and saying things about his daughter, I think he was just lying to make himself look good. I don't think there was a relationship because it's like I don't understand, like all of a sudden it's just turned off. Maybe that's what they do. You don't even say your daughter's name. But I thought you had a so-called relationship and y'all been working on your relationship. But this here lately, it seems very strained, as if, it's coming off as like, okay, I know I have a daughter. You would think this somebody new that popped up. I know I have a daughter, and I wasn't there to raise her, blah blah blah. I got put on child support payments, so the mother raised her, went her way, and I went mine. This is looking, it's like I said, something just not matching up. So I can only assume, based on the current communication, the things that are said, it sure as heck is not lining up what he was saying before. I think he has been lying about this relationship with his daughter just to make it look like he's not a bum and that this money thing really bought it out. Because I said, that doesn't make it, I said, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know if they had a fallout. But I'm really starting to think that maybe he was trying to make himself look good because it what he's talking right now, and it sounds like somebody, oh, I got this lady pregnant 18 whatever years ago. And she raised a child. I've been on child support. We don't really get along like that. He hasn't said anything like, let me try to work something out with the mom. It just seems very, very strained. And it's like, it's not lining up with prior conversations. So this last one here is the truth because he's circling the wagon. You really on the phone. You popping up. Hey, what's he doing here? Uh-huh. So I'm really inclined to believe. I said he is a good deceiver because this I thought about. I said something is just not right. Something is just not right, and it occurred to me when he was saying those things about his daughter and trying to make himself look like we have some hurdles to cross about what happened in the past and talking all communication. Now all of a sudden, it's like somebody who, Papa hadn't talked to the girl in years. So I've come to a conclusion when he was saying that in group settings about his daughter and telling me and others about what have you. I just think this guy, I just think he was just lying. I don't believe that relationship was real the way he was painting it. Because now it just seems like, hey, he has a teenage daughter, he's estranged, she's in school. Nothing like that. It doesn't add up because I'm like, if you wouldn't even mind paying for your flesh and blood if you guys are, you're trying to in a good space or at least trying to work to get there. But I think Seriously, Dusty's will lie about their position to make themselves look good. I thought about it. I said, I said, I think he's very dangerous. And I think he's very deceiving. I said, because this right here that went down with this roofing thing, you would think obviously they don't communicate. He could be looking at her Facebook page. This is just not lining up with what he said before. So I can only assume from that he is, I think he's very manipulative. And I think he was lying about the relationship. It's just not adding up. Because now it's just so very distant. Or maybe they had one and it went flat. But I said, it's just strange. This money really got you into this situation. And, yeah, I got a daughter. We've been doing that. So either he has more than one, which I understand is this one here. But I said, something is just not lining up. What was said last year, the year before, months ago, last holiday season, something isn't lining up. And now it's like talking about a long lost daughter that you're not involved in. That's like I said, I didn't even know her age. I think he, I just think he, a person like that, I said, something just doesn't make any sense. It, it's like a whole turnabout. And maybe they had a relationship and the money bought it out. But I said, but just a bad aura. I said, he's very dangerous. I said, I think he's been lying. I don't think they have a relationship like this because the way he refers to her, just a problem. But at first, so let me know what you all think. Maybe it's just me, but I said something just not is not gelling. So either he's been lying and this has brought it out. It's too distant. It's just very distant. The way he's coming across, very cold. But he said that doesn't help. She just had to go to school. In other words, just to save me and my wallet, maybe she should drop out of college. Ladies, be there. Again, in this case here, it's probably better that the woman raised the child by herself. I was like, you don't want to go to school just to help you out? She just had to go to school. Like it was a bad thing. Again, I don't care what happens to him. I'm not trying to warn. I do not care what happens. Like I said, only way around it. There's no way around it. Rather, best thing to do is work out a deal and go get a second job. Oh yeah, on that it was crickets. So we're done. We can consider this our final conversation. It's like, are you serious? Oh yeah, that done hell. She just had to go to school. So he's worrying about those payments that have to continue as long as the child is in school. What a selfish piece of crap. I have no sympathy for these men that create these fatherless homes and move on. He can't get a job. I have no sympathy. Oh well, should have thought about that. He can't get a passport. I wish they give him all a passport, let him get stranded over there. And what they can do is go ahead and find some work. Listen, I think it's a good idea. They ought to let him go ahead and go on over there. And they cannot come back. Don't let them come back. And see, a lot of these countries are poor countries anyway. Good luck finding a job. Let them stay on over there. Because guess what? That's a better chance of them not getting some other woman misguided, thinking, oh, he's going to change. They're going to change her for me. Yeah, about that. Getting her pregnant. Uh, It'll be less fatherless homes. I was thinking, I'll get a passport. Don't let them back into the country. Don't let them back into the country. They can find a job and get set up over there. I'm telling you. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, that doesn't help. She just had to go to school. That is a self-hating. Oh my God, I can't say what I really want to say. So I'm gonna end the video. Ooh, okay. I wish. He's he's not even. He's not decent. You're not worthy of breathing to wish. Oh, that doesn't help. So you don't want to get an education. Maybe just stop at high school, girl, and get a regular job and be broke, check to check. These dust buckets, they are all about themselves. Deal with them if you want to. If you want to assume that risk, ladies, good luck. Marry one if you want to. You want to assume that risk, ladies, good luck. But I got news for you, honey. They are not an asset. They are a liability, buttercup, and I'm out.